soccer team then?
They love us. 2-1.
What did Grim Reaper? I knew I should have asked. I thought Fullerton came in with tremendous physicality, which is probably what they had to do to give themselves a fighting chance early. Took us a while to adjust to that. Though it was good for us to play against it. They always play that way. Coach's been there 12 years. Diedrich's a great coach, great guy, one of the best in the business, and that I've met in California as far as a great person. So I thought his kids played as hard as they could. They just didn't shoot the ball very well. But we were able to turn them over 21 times tonight. So points off turnovers were big for us. Now that's when we were able to really, once we were able to wear them down a little bit. But it was spread around pretty well for us tonight. So you got 5 guys in double figures and 2 guys with 8. And 22 assists, I'm happy with it. We're getting better at taking care of the ball.
Nick, among the positives tonight, 6 steals from Kobe, kind of looked like a national player, defensive player of the candidate, you said.
He can do it. He's got great hands. He and I are working. There's some things that I don't talk about in the media that he's got to give us from a leadership standpoint. As far as taking care of the ball, being disciplined in his traps, just being more disciplined. Taking everything I say to heart and realizing that, like most of the guys on our team, and really 99% of the guys trying to make it, that you don't have a huge window to make it. You have a very small window. It's not like his brother, he's not 6'9". So you can't have blind spots in your game. You can't. So like for instance, he's had some silly fouls, which I've been on him about all summer since he transferred. You got to be able to play great defense without fouls. You got to be able to trap the guy and not just try to steal the ball every time and close the trap. Just these little things that just trying to put more discipline into what he does. Not be careless sometimes with his passing. So it's just sometimes that he is still working on being disciplined in what he does. But he's got a chance.
And Adai added a lot in his 13 minutes, it seemed like.
Yeah, he always says, it was funny, before the game, the training staff had told me they didn't know if he was going to be able to play. He's having bad headaches. He told me he wasn't feeling well. So that was like 30 minutes before the game. So I didn't know, I didn't know if when it was a dog fight, I didn't want to put him in a bad spot. He wasn't feeling well. But then he said he wanted to play. So. And he looked like he felt great to me. The only guy I don't like is the left-hand hook. He tells me he was great, better with his left hand in Spain. I said, well, you're in Los Angeles. So you're 0 for Los Angeles with your left hand.
Coach, last game you were obviously not happy with how the game ended.
Yeah, last 8 minutes. I said 10, I watched the film, it's last 8 minutes.
It seemed to be a different story in this second half. You guys shot 55%, close to it, held them to 21%. They seem to be more active, running after the ball.
Yeah, we stayed focused. We talked about playing 40 minutes. The other thing I try to talk to you about, if you're going to be a real team, you have to get better as the game goes on. It's like I always tell you guys that have been with me, it gets harder to win as the season goes on, but it gets harder to win as the game goes on. Like the really good teams, they'll wear the other team down late in the game. That's what happens in basketball. So you got to get better as the game goes on. Everybody, you come out, get hot, be all rah-rah. You got to be better. Your defense has got to be at its best in the last 10 minutes of the game. That's how you win games. Because most games in conference play are decided by 6 points or less. That's a statistical fact. If you were to do the mean of the whole thing. So you got to get better. So I thought we did a better job.
Coach, I think there was a stretch in the first half where Sebastian Mack had forced like 3 floaters in a row. Did you say something to him after that stretch during the timeout, and what did you think of his performance tonight?
He's been great. You know, I thought he only had, actually his worst shot was, he got some good shots that he usually makes. After the steal, I don't know what the heck that was. You know, we come out of the free throw, we trapped him, he made a great steal, and he went to corkscrew it. I don't know, maybe he didn't know the guy was right behind him defensively. But he got in there and got off 2 feet. You know, it was just, he was shooting 58% coming into the game, so I think the law of averages got him. We didn't need him tonight, so we're going to need his points. So I'm all for him saving some. But his attitude's been great this year. His effort's been great.
I think you talk about like rebounding percentage or something that you look at. I don't know what Fullerton's is. I know they're a bigger team, but
well, they missed 37 shots and got 13 rebounds.
Yeah. So I mean, what do you think about that?
Not great. You know, it's not horrible, but I mean, it's something. We're not like when a guy's not in the game. Tyler's not a great athlete. He's a great player, not a great athlete. So we really have got to get better at 5-man blockouts. Because we don't have unless now if a guy's in there, he can just reach up. Nobody can get to him. But if he's not in there, we're not big enough. We have to really be an excellent blockout team. But again, I get the other team practices too. This was their chance for all their kids to play at UCLA. You could see how hard they played unbelievably hard, which is a credit to them and their coach.
No, Dylan's coming back from that groin injury. He seemed maybe a little bit more confident. I know his shot didn't really fall tonight.
All I care is he got 4 assists and no turnovers.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And he got 4 deflections, which is ties his whole season. He's got 4. So now he's got 8. So it's an area where he and I, we were going to change it. Can't get a deflection, Ben, with your hands in your pocket. People don't throw the ball into your hands. You know, you have to try to get it your hand. You got to either chase down a loose ball or you got to deflect the pass. Okay, you got to get a piece of the ball, and that takes effort. And then your mind's got to be on that. And he has to improve. And we talked about it. And he did tonight. You know, we talked about it with him and Trent. Because Trent's got long arms. But again, they're useless if your hands are dead and you're making no effort. It's a huge part of defense. If, like, say forget me, you would agree that Tom Thibodeau's a great coach, 60-something years old, he's been at the highest level. First thing he would tell you is, he get in his practice. Anytime you make it, you stunt every time. Every time. Your hands are such a big part of taking passing lanes away. It's no different than in football when you rush the passer and then big defensive line. It's huge. You don't do it, people pick you apart. So he's improving. It's an area where I've got it. Dylan has struggled his first 2 years. Unbelievably low deflection guy for a guy with his speed. And it's got so he worked on it. So I'm happy with that.
Coach, how far would you,
Yeah, Brent, I got you.
how far would you say you are from a team chemistry point of view?
Oh, I'm not a big believer in that stuff. I believe in finding a rhythm. You know, I don't know. Wasn't a big chemistry guy in high school and college, so you know, it's funny. Like every team that wins big, they say they have great chemistry. Isn't it amazing? Maybe it's because of what Coach Wooden said. The team with the best players usually wins. He said that every book that's been written, he said that. So it's just interesting though. The team that wins, everybody's they got great chemistry. Yeah, because they got the best players. It's easy to have great chemistry when you win. So what I would say is what matters is finding a rhythm as a team and finding our rotations, like things that actually matter. You know, rhythm, rotations, and then you'll find out though what type of character you have on your team when things don't go well. That's what matters. That's what matters. You know, it's like the Dodgers, things didn't go well. There were multiple injuries. You found out what they were all about and they overcame all that stuff. And then at the end, we had great chemistry. No, you had great toughness. You had great players, great manager, you had great toughness. You know, all that other stuff, kumbaya, that's for another program, another head coach, and for me. All right, guys.
Thank you.